A mockery. The emergency lights bathed the medical station in harsh red as another explosion rocked the building. Dr. Marcus Chun's steady hands never wavered as he sutured the gaping wound in the Krellian soldier's chest. Purple blood covered. His surgical gloves, mixing with the green from the previous Vorthan patient and the red from the humans before that. The frontline medical outpost on Proxima 7 had become a nightmare of different colored blood and the screams of the dying. Human doctor still playing with his primitive tools, sneered Commander Zektar, a 7-foot-tall Dominion warrior whose crystalline armor reflected the emergency lights. His species had joined the alliance against the Ravagers 3 months ago, but they'd never hidden their disdain for humanity's inclusion. My people would have let him die with honor rather than suffer your crude attempts at healing. Marcus didn't look up from his work. The Krellian's 3 hearts were failing, and he had minutes at most to stabilize the patient. Your people also think antibiotics are witchcraft, Commander. Now either help or get out of my operating room. The makeshift medical bay had been a storage facility just 6 hours ago. Now it housed 47 wounded soldiers from 9 different species, and Marcus was the only qualified surgeon left standing. His team of 8 had been reduced to 3 exhausted nurses, and the Ravagers were closing in. Their biomechanical forces had overwhelmed the outer defenses an hour ago. Lieutenant Sarah Kim, one of his remaining nurses, rushed over with another casualty. This one was human, barely 18 years old, with shrapnel embedded across his torso. Doctor, he's going into shock. We're out of synthetic blood. Use mine, Marcus said without hesitation, rolling up his sleeve while continuing to work on the Krellian with his other hand. Type O negative. Universal donor. Commander. Zektar laughed, a sound like grinding stone. You would weaken yourself to save a dying soldier? This is why humans are fodder for real warriors. Too sentimental. Too soft. The ground shook again. Closer this time. Through the reinforced windows, Marcus could see the distinctive purple. Energy beams of Ravager weapons cutting through the night. The coalition forces were retreating, falling back position by position. The medical station would be overrun within the hour. General Thompson burst through the doors, his uniform torn and bloodied. The human commander of the coalition forces looked like he'd aged 10 years in the last 10 hours. Chun, we need to evacuate. The Ravagers have broken through Sector 7. I have patients who can't be moved, Marcus replied, finally finishing. With the Krellian and moving immediately to the young human soldier. Give me 30 minutes. We don't have 30 minutes. Thompson's voice cracked with desperation. They're using those new sniper units. The ones with the plasma rifles. They're picking off anyone who tries to cross the courtyard. We've lost 12 soldiers just trying to reach the transport. Marcus's hands stilled for just a moment. Range? What? Thompson blinked in confusion. The snipers. What's their effective? Range? Intelligence says about 1,500 meters. Why? Marcus continued working on the soldier, but something in his posture had changed. Subtle, a straightening of the spine. A different kind of focus in his eyes. Commander Zektar is right about one thing. Humans are sentimental. We form attachments. We care too much. He paused, meeting Thompson's eyes. But he's wrong about us being soft. The general studied him for a long moment. Your service record. The parts that were classified when you transferred to medical. You weren't always a doctor. Were you? I've been a doctor for 7 years, General. And before that? Marcus was quiet as he worked, the only sound the steady beep of monitors and distant explosions. Finally, he spoke. Before that, I was very good at making sure people needed doctors. Zektar. Crystalline form shifted, suddenly interested. You were a warrior? I was a sniper, Marcus said quietly. Delta Force. 89 confirmed kills across 3 continents and 2 off-world operations. They called me Phantom because targets. never saw me coming. The medical bay had gone silent, except for the moaning of the wounded. Even the alien personnel were staring at him now. Sarah Kim dropped the medical supplies she was carrying. "You're the Phantom of Mars? The one who held off an entire battalion during the colony wars? That was a long time ago." Marcus finished with the young soldier and stood, peeling off his bloody gloves. "I put that life behind me when I realized I was better at taking lives than saving them. The scales needed balancing." General Thompson reached for his sidearm, a modified plasma rifle designed for long-range engagement. "The observation tower has clear sight lines to the Ravager positions. If someone could take out those snipers... I'm a doctor now, General." "You're?" "A soldier who became a doctor," Thompson corrected. "And right now, these wounded need a soldier more than they need a doctor." Another explosion, this one close enough to crack the reinforced windows. Through the spiderweb of fractures, they could see Ravager forces advancing. The biomechanical horrors moved with inhuman precision, their weapons seeking targets with deadly efficiency. Marcus looked around the medical bay, at his patients, at his exhausted staff, at the wounded who would never make it to the transports. As long as those snipers commanded the field. 1,700 meters, he said quietly. The observation tower to their probable positions would be about 1,700 meters. That's beyond the effective range of most weapons. "Most weapons," Thompson agreed, pulling out a case from behind the medical supplies. "But not this one." Inside was a weapon Marcus recognized immediately. A modified human railgun rifle with alien tech enhancements. The kind of rifle that could punch through a tank at 2,000 meters in the right hands. "How did you?" "I've been carrying it since we established this position," Thompson admitted. "Just in case we needed a miracle. The question is, do we have someone who can use it?" Marcus stared at the rifle. 5 years of medical school. 7 years of healing. Thousands of lives saved. All of it balanced against who he used to be. What he used to do. "Doctor," it was the Krellian soldier he'd just saved, speaking through his translator. "My life debt is to you now. If you fall, I die defending this place. But if you can stop..." Double quotes Commander Zektar stepped forward, his massive form towering over Marcus. "I was wrong about humans being soft. But can you be hard enough when needed?" Marcus thought about the 18-year-old soldier he'd just saved, about the 46 other wounded who couldn't be moved, about the 3 nurses who'd stayed behind to help when they could have evacuated. Hours ago, he reached for the rifle. The weight was familiar. Too familiar. His hands found the proper grip points automatically, muscle memory overriding 7 years of deliberate forgetfulness. The scope came to his eye like greeting an old friend, and suddenly he could see the world in trajectories and wind patterns again. "I need a spotter," he said, his voice different now. Colder, professional. "Someone with good eyes and steady nerves." "I'll do it," Sarah Kim volunteered immediately. "I was recon before I went medical." No, it was Zektar who spoke. "I will spot for you, human. My eyes can see into spectrums yours cannot, and I would witness whether the Phantom of Mars is legend or truth." Marcus looked at the massive alien warrior. "Can you work with a soft, sentimental human?" "I can work with a warrior who chose healing over killing. That takes a strength my people rarely see." General Thompson handed Marcus additional ammunition. "The Ravager snipers have organic shielding. You'll need to be precise. One shot might not be enough." "It never is," Marcus replied, checking the rifle's power cells. "How many snipers?" 3 confirmed. "Maybe 4. They're using active camouflage." Marcus nodded, already moving toward the door. "Sarah, you're in charge of the medical bay. Keep everyone stable. If I'm not back in 20 minutes, evacuate whoever you can." "Dr. Chun," she called after him. "Marcus, come back." He paused at the door, looking back at the medical bay one last time. A doctor would promise to come back. But right now, you need the Phantom. And the Phantom only promises one thing. Those snipers won't be a problem anymore. The transformation. The observation tower stood 60 meters above the battlefield, its steel frame groaning under the constant barrage of distant explosions. Marcus and Zektar climbed in darkness, the only illumination coming from the fires burning across the outpost. Every step took Marcus further from the doctor he'd become, and closer to the soldier he'd tried to forget. "Your hands," Zektar observed as they reached the observation platform. "They do not shake." Marcus was already setting up the rifle, calculating angles and distances with an ease that disturbed him. A surgeon's hands never shake, neither do a sniper's. It's one of the few things both lives had in common. Through the scope, the battlefield became a mathematics problem. Wind speed, projectile drop, target movement, atmospheric density. The Ravager positions materialized in his enhanced vision, their biomechanical forms giving off distinct heat signatures despite their camouflage. "First target," Zektar reported, his crystalline eyes seeing what human vision couldn't. "Bearing 270. 1,740 meters. It's moving to acquire a new target." The evacuation transport. Marcus found it immediately. The Ravager sniper was a nightmarish fusion of organic and mechanical parts, its weapon grafted directly into what might have been an arm. It was lining up a shot on the medical transport that had just arrived to evacuate the critical patients. Time slowed. Marcus's breathing steadied to almost nothing. His heartbeat dropped to 40 beats per minute. Between one beat and the next, he squeezed the trigger. The railgun whispered death across 1,700 meters. The Ravager sniper's head exploded in a shower of metallic fragments and organic matter. Its shot went wild, missing the transport by meters. "Target down," Zektar confirmed, awe creeping into his voice. "Second target is displacing, bearing 315. 1,800 meters. This one was harder. The Ravager was moving, using the rubble for cover. Marcus tracked it, calculating its speed, predicting where it would be when the round arrived. The math was instinctive, processed by a part of his brain he tried to bury under medical journals and healing oaths. He fired. The round caught the Ravager mid-stride, tearing through its center mass. It stumbled, tried to rise, and Marcus put a second round through its optical cluster. "Impossible," Zektar breathed. "That was 1,800 meters on a moving target." "The impossible is just math we haven't solved yet," Marcus replied, already searching for the third sniper. "Where's number 3? I cannot see ... Wait." Zektar's eyes flared brighter. "It's repositioning. It knows we're here." Through the scope, Marcus saw it. The third Ravager sniper had turned its weapon toward the observation tower. They were now hunting each other, predator and predator, across nearly 2,000 meters of hell. "Doctor," Zektar said quietly, "it has a lock on our position." Marcus could see the Ravager's weapon charging, the distinctive purple glow of its plasma. Rifle brightening. At this range, with this wind, accounting for the tower's slight sway, the calculation was almost impossible. Almost. "Do you trust me, Commander?" "You are soft and sentimental," Zektar replied. "But you are also the Phantom. I trust the warrior. And I respect the healer. Then don't move." The Ravager fired first. Marcus watched the plasma bolt coming, a purple star streaking across the battlefield. He had perhaps 2 seconds before impact. In those 2 seconds, he made 3 calculations, 2 adjustments, and 1 shot. His round and the plasma bolt passed each other in the night. The plasma struck the tower's reinforced shield, spraying energy across the platform. His round struck. The Ravager sniper exactly where its organic brain interfaced with its mechanical components. 3 down, Marcus said quietly. Then, louder, wait, there's a 4th. He'd seen it in the muzzle flash of the 3rd sniper's death. A 4th Ravager. This one with a weapon he recognized with cold dread. A biocannon, capable of leveling buildings. It was aimed at the medical station. Range? Zektar asked urgently. 2,100 meters. Beyond the rifle's guaranteed effective range. Beyond what any human should be able to hit. That's impossible, even for you. Marcus made 17. Adjustments to his scope, compensating for factors most snipers would consider negligible. The Coriolis effect from the planet's rotation. The thermal updraft from the fires. The microscopic variance in air density between here and there. Commander, I need you to tell me exactly when it's going to fire. Your eyes can see the energy. Build up better than mine. Zektar's crystalline form pulsed with concentration. Charging now. 15 seconds until discharge. Marcus found that perfect stillness between heartbeats. He thought about the 47 wounded in the medical bay. About Sarah Kim and the other nurses. About the 18-year-old soldier who deserved a chance to see 19. 10 seconds. He thought about 7 years of healing, of saving lives, of choosing creation over destruction. But sometimes he realized destruction was the only thing, standing between the innocent and those who would harm them. 5 seconds. His finger found the trigger. 4.7 pounds of pressure, exactly. The rifle was an extension of his will, the bullet a prayer for the impossible. Firing, Marcus squeezed. The railgun roared. The round flew across 2,100 meters of battlefield, cutting through smoke and fire and death. It struck not the Ravager, but the biocannon's primary power coupling, a target no bigger than a human fist at that range. The explosion lit up the night like a second sun. The biocannon detonated, taking the 4th sniper and a significant portion of Ravager forces with it. The blast wave reached the tower seconds later, nearly knocking them off the platform. For a moment, the battlefield was silent. Then, across the coalition comm channels, voices erupted. The evacuation transports were moving. The wounded were being loaded. The Ravager advance had stalled, their forces in disarray without their sniper support. 4 for 4, Zektar said, in something approaching reverence. The last at over 2,000 meters on a critical component shot. The legends did not do you justice, Phantom. Marcus was already breaking down the rifle, his movements automatic, but his mind elsewhere. Hey. Phantom died 7 years ago on Mars, Commander. He died when he realized that being Death's instrument, no matter how skilled, was slowly killing everything good inside him. And yet he returned tonight. No. Marcus stood, slinging the rifle over his shoulder. Dr. Chun made a tactical medical decision. Those snipers were a disease threatening his patients. He simply excised them with extreme precision. They descended the tower in silence, returning to find the medical bay in organized chaos. The evacuation was proceeding smoothly. Now, the wounded being transferred to transports under covering fire from coalition forces. Sarah Kim looked up as they entered, relief flooding her face. Doctor, we've evacuated 30 patients. The remaining 17 are stable for transport. Marcus immediately moved to check on the critical patients, falling back into his role as naturally as breathing. Good work. What's the status on the Valerian with the thoracic damage? Stabilized, but he needs surgery within the hour. He'll get it. We'll ride with him on the transport. General Thompson appeared, his expression unreadable. Dr. Chun, what you did tonight, ... What I did tonight was protect my patients, Marcus. Interrupted. Nothing more, nothing less. You saved the entire outpost. The Ravager advance has completely stalled. High Command wants to offer you a position. I have a position, Marcus said firmly. I'm a doctor. Tonight was an anomaly. General, a necessary one, but an anomaly nonetheless. Commander Ziktar stepped forward. You could be both. Healer and warrior. Your skills. My skills as a sniper are precisely why I chose to become a doctor, Marcus replied, checking the vitals on the 18-year-old soldier, who was now conscious and stable. Every life I took demanded a balance. I've saved 342 lives in my medical career. I'm still 194 short of balancing the scales. You're keeping count? Sarah asked softly. Every single one. It's my penance and my purpose. He turned to face them all. Tonight, I had to add 4 more to the wrong side of the ledger. That means 198 lives I need to save to break even. The Krellian soldier Marcus had saved earlier, raised a 3-fingered hand. Doctor, in my culture, we believe that saving one life saves the universe entire. You have saved 47 universes tonight and taken only 4 lives to do it. The scales are not balanced. They tip overwhelmingly in your favor. Marcus was quiet for a moment, considering. Perhaps. But I know what I'm capable of with a rifle in my hands. I know how easy it is for me to make that choice. That's why I choose healing instead. Every day, every patient, every surgery is a choice to be better than my training, better than my instincts. General Thompson nodded slowly. I understand. But know this, Doctor. If we ever need the Phantom again, then you'll find Dr. Chun, Marcus finished. And he'll make the same decision he made tonight. What's best for his patients. Nothing more, nothing less. As the last transport lifted off, carrying the wounded to safety, Marcus stood in the empty medical bay. The rifle was locked away again. The Phantom pushed back into the shadows of memory. Tomorrow, there would be new wounded, new challenges, new lives to save. Commander Ziktar remained behind, his crystalline form reflecting the dawn light breaking over the battlefield. I owe you an apology, Doctor. I said humans were soft. We are soft, Commander. We feel too much, care too much, hope too much. But that's not weakness. It's what makes us fight harder than we should, survive longer than we ought to, and sometimes ... Marcus looked at his hands, steady as always. Sometimes pick up weapons we've sworn never to touch again, because being soft means we can't stand to see others suffer. Your species confuses me, Dr. Chun. Marcus smiled slightly. We confuse ourselves too, Commander. But that's what makes us human. We're walking contradictions capable of great violence and greater mercy, often in the same moment. The sun rose fully now, casting long shadows across the battlefield. In the distance, reinforcements were arriving, the coalition forces regrouping. The war would continue, but for now, in this moment, 47 souls lived because a healer remembered how to kill, and chose to do so only when all other options were exhausted. Dr. Marcus Chun returned to setting up the medical station, preparing for the next wave of wounded. The Phantom was buried once more, but not gone, never gone. Simply waiting, held in check by the healer's oath and the simple, soft, sentimental human belief that every life matters, even the lives of those who would mock that belief. Asterisk.